Welcome back. Well, shopping for hearing aids may seem like a solution for hearing loss, but is that where you should start?
The Hearing Center at Advent urges patients to seek proper treatment prior to making any purchases. And Dr. Madan Kandula with Advanced Ear, Nose, and Throat is here to tell us why, which is a great point. Great to see you this morning.
Good to be here.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Let's talk about signs that someone should be seeking help with hearing, because we've understood from you in the past, people often wait a really long time before they get help.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it happens so slowly. So a lot of times the person that it's happening to is kind of the last person to know. So those around folks can kind of sense, okay, they're not picking up on things that everybody else is. They're answering wrong to questions that are asked, things like that. And so what ends up happening is a lot of times folks sort of put themselves into a box after a while where they just are uncomfortable being in social situations because it's uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to be in a situation where I'm answering wrong. If you ask me one question, I'm answering something about Pluto. Then it makes you uncomfortable, makes you kind of embarrassed. It causes you to withdraw, and we're seeing some of the medical consequences of that. And so sometimes it oftentimes is very subtle. It oftentimes is years of trouble, years of struggle before somebody seeks help. And then unfortunately, a lot of times folks seek help at places that aren't necessarily equipped to offer the help that they need.
Right, there's ads everywhere for hearing aids. I mean, you can pick up the Sky Mall magazine or any magazine and there's like a hearing device or something like that. And I think people are instantly going to be drawn to something like that if they know they're having an issue. But you say don't start there. Don't buy the hearing aid to start. Treat the hearing loss. What does that mean to you?
Well, first is, hearing loss is a medical condition, period. End of story. There's no other sort of way to look at it. And if you've got a medical condition, do you seek out understanding of that issue, you seek out proper testing of that issue, you seek out proper treatment of that issue. Now, hearing aids are certainly an option for folks. It's not the option for everybody, and that's sort of the place that we come at this issue with. And I think a lot of folks get really put off with the thought that they're going to go somewhere and it's a one-size-fits-all. This is what you're going to need. This is your issue. We're going to solve it with this. Whatever the issue is, that's not how it should be done. It's not how we do it, and we never will do it that way. It's really, understanding what somebody's issues are, a thorough, proper medical hearing test, which is, the right way to do it. And then really, again, part of what I do on the medical side of things is really explaining what the issues are, how this is impacting somebody, what our options are, and then trying to fit, what's the best option for you. And that's also certainly our audiologists have a large role in that, but it's not, it's a team approach from a hearing perspective.
Is it true that if someone has untreated hearing loss, that it can result in memory loss, things like dementia, even cause problems with falling, balance?
Absolutely. So, your inner ears are part of what they're responsible for is hearing. The other part is balance. And so a lot of times we'll see folks who have that mixed bag of an issue where they got, hearing issues and then balance issues. One of the things we're learning more and more about is dementia. And so just as you would think, if you are not interacting with the world, your ears help your brain to hear. Your brain is what's allowing you to hear. If your brain isn't getting the stimulation that it wants, then it sort of shuts the world out and it kind of goes into la la land, which is not where you want to be. So if as you're getting older, or you're not getting older, and this happens to young people too, if you're not getting, you're not allowed to communicate in the ways that you need to, we're finding that it is something that's impactful, which is sort of one of the reasons that I'm here kind of talking about this. Is it's not okay to put it off. It's not okay to say, yeah, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to have my wife deal with it, or my husband's going to be my ears that they're going to hear from me. That doesn't work. What that's going to lead you to is a one-way street to more trouble than you think it might lead you to, which is not acceptable.
I think that's a slippery slope in terms of where that can take you in the rest of your life. What kinds of professionals can give you the best overall treatment and process for hearing loss?
Yeah, I mean, really, so in the field of hearing, there are two professionals there are only two professionals. There are audiologists, which are folks who go through 4 years of undergraduate degrees, 4 years of professional doctorate of audiology training, or ear, nose, and throat physicians myself who go through, college and med school and ear, nose, and throat training. That's it. So, that's sort of the pinnacle of our fields. At our center, we combine both of those specialties, and I think that gives the best outcome. Unfortunately, most of the flyers and things you hear about are from folks who go through not that. They go, basically with either a GED or high school diploma and an online course, you can sell a hearing aid. So, again, if you think about that, think about those levels of training and think about, the experience and expertise, well, where would you want to go?
Right.
I guess that's a simple question to ask.
What do you see as some of the advantages of seeing someone who is treated or who is professionally trained to treat and diagnose versus some of the risks maybe of not seeing a professional who has that kind of background?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing, diplomas are great. They're great on the wall, but, as far as what does that do for you, it's what it does. That training that we have, we're able to bring it. We're able to bring it every time we see somebody, and we're able to really tailor fit an approach that's going to work for somebody. I think a lot of times, and this is not just true with hearing as far as issues that we deal with, there's a lot of misunderstanding. There's a lot of folks who try to do the right thing and are not seeking out the right resources to get where they need to go, and they end up frustrated. They end up feeling sort of hoodwinked, and that's not the way it ought to be. So part of our mission, part of our charge is to get out the word that there are ways to treat these issues. We can treat these issues very, very well. You ought to be comfortable and confident seeking out care.
Yeah. Well, and in summary, because we ran out of time, if you see people who have advertisements for hearing aids and they're kind of pushing that and they're not doing the full diagnosis evaluation, maybe listen to that gut instinct, call the professionals at Advent. Here's the information for the Hearing Center. Again, it's ear, nose, and throat specialists as well as audiology combined. They're in Tosa, Northport, Washington Road in Mequon. The phone number to call is on your screen. It's 414-771-6780 or ADVENT.md. You can absolutely make an appointment for a loved one as well. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.